Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my new Let's Play, Rayman 2 The Great Escape. This was the first video game I ever played, on the first console I ever owned. It's gonna be a good one. I'm not gonna bother giving any letters because you can't fit stut in there. There's only 3 letters, not 4. Now, Rayman 2 here is being played on the Dreamcast, because it's objectively the best version. But first, here is the amazing intro cinematic.
Rayman, look what the pirates have done to our world. A planet of anguish and pain, haunted by evil. A dark place, teeming with fierce monsters. Nothing can stop them now that they've captured you. They've taken everything and reduced our people to slaves. The robots search for innocent prey. In the chaos, they exploded the heart of the world. The 1,000 lumps of energy which form it have been scattered. We are getting weak. Soon it will be too late. You must escape, Rayman. You are our only hope.
Rayman 2 The Great Escape. Now you get a narrator here in the Dreamcast version, but in the original N64 and PC release it was just text that faded in and out on the screen. I think the narrator definitely adds something to that epicness. It adds epicness, if that's a word. And here we have the pirate flagship, which is looking very dark, to be honest. The Dreamcast version seems to have a lot more dark in its lighting. It's just much darker overall. PC version looks incredibly bright by comparison. As you can see, the pirates have enslaved hundreds of beings, an entire world. It's a very dark tone for a children's game. This game's rated 3+. I played it when I was 5, just the first, and to this day I have never completed it. But I want that to change. I want this Let's Play to be good, so I can finish the game, get all the way through it for you.
They'll never fall asleep. You want me more too?
The characters like Rayman here, they all talk in Raymanian, otherwise known as gibberish. So, you know, talking over them doesn't matter so much, because you can still read, hopefully. This game, Rayman 2, is the sequel to the first game, just called Rayman. That came out for the PlayStation, Atari Jaguar and PC. The first game was entirely in 2D, very stylised. The second game is all 3D, and this is regarded as one of the best games of all time. It isn't without good reason. Anyway, you may be wondering why we're playing on the Dreamcast version. Well, that's because the Dreamcast version is the first version I ever played and owned, so it only makes sense to play my first one for my first real Let's Play, because let's be honest, the Jedi Academy Let's Play does not count. That was awful. To be fair, the fact that I even got video output from that was amazing. Uh-oh. Incoming fat frog. Whoosh. And they are going to feel that in the morning, because they are going to hit the floor with probably somewhere near terminal velocity, which has got to be quite hard. Can't quite think of off the top of my head how hard that's going to be, but they're going to hit the floor. Thump. Oof. Yeah, that's quite a thump. The Dreamcast version runs at 60 FPS, which the only other version to do that is the PC. Along with the Dreamcast version having a bunch of extra stuff added in here and there, and extra mini games and stuff, and overall just being better than the N64 version. The PS1 version is the outright worst, because they just outright cut stuff out of it, because otherwise it wouldn't fit on the PlayStation hardware, because it was so much weaker than the N64. Anyway, this here is Murphy. He's the kind of the tutorial guy. Anyway, here we are in the first level, Woods of Light. First interesting tidbit of information. If you keep shooting through this waterfall, you will unlock a minigame. This minigame is only present in the Dreamcast version. Not a single other version contains it. Hang on, the game's looking a bit dark. I'm just going to check. Yeah, brighten up a bit. Got the sound effects up, music a little bit down. Just to make sure that you're not interrupted. Now you can bounce your shots off things, and there was a cage round the corner. How did I know that was there? Why, it might be because I've played this level literally thousands of times. Because when I was a child I was an idiot and couldn't really figure out how to get past the next level. So I kept deleting my save file and replaying. Now here's another interesting thing I found in my youth, which I've never seen anyone else show. You do that, here, you get the Golden Fist power-up, which only appears about halfway through the game. I'm not sure why it happens or why you get it here, because you're not supposed to have it. It's not supposed to exist yet. But it does. I don't understand why, but it does. Wait, what we're collecting there are the yellow lums. They're the main collectible. The objective of the game is to get all of the yellow lums to reform the heart of the world that was mentioned in the start. You can also do the waterfall shooting thing here. But I'm not going to enter those mini-games, because then I have to go through everything again for you. Perhaps at the end of the Let's Play, if we get that far, I will include it in a bonus video. Because everyone loves bonus videos. Ooh, that jump is not the easiest thing to make. Although, you could say I've had some practice.
No.
So yes, Rayman is now looking for Glowbox, the big frog who helped free him. And these are his children, or at least some of them. The manual says he has over 700 children, so let's just say he's been busy. And now we've got to go find Glowbox, got to reform the heart of the world, we've got to find Lee to get our powers back. It's got quite a checklist here. Rayman looks like, what? Basically, he doesn't really care for their crying. Except he does. Of course Rayman cares, he's a good boy. Rayman is good boy. But yeah, so we've got to collect, lums, cages. It's a 3D platformer from the N64 era. It's not complicated generally. Oh, look at all these moving sprites, I assume, and all the flickering. Those are one of the things they added to show the Dreamcast's power compared to the N64. That's a purple lum. We'll get to those in the next level. But now here we meet some new characters. The Teensies. And here's quite a longish cutscene. I mean, it's only a minute or two, but you know. And the Teensies also have an identity crisis. They've been in that cage apparently for so long, they don't know who's the king anymore. Now, surely you'd remember if you were king. I would think you'd have to be locked up for a long time to forget you were the king. Anyway, Rayman doesn't have time. We need to find Lee. We've got to save the world. Come on. And so they all chicken out. And he's like, oh wait, now I'm in charge. Oh, guess it's my job. This game has rather nice graphics, you've got to say. Especially for the N64. Like, when on the N64 it doesn't look as good as this, but it's still really good compared to all the other things on there. Like, this has proper textures, whereas if you look at like Mario 64, those were mostly flat muted colours, which honestly isn't as visually appealing. Unfortunately, I can't record the VGA output from the Dreamcast, which would be the best quality video you could get. So instead we have to deal with composite, which, as anyone who knows what stuff is, isn't as good. But it will have to do. So there we go, the Woods of Light, the first level's complete. And in the next episode we move on to the Fairy Glades to try and free Lee. See you all next time.